Welcome, this is a quick demonstration on how to set up a master meter using config 600 version 3.3. Give it a name, press next, we'll choose metric, you can have imperial otherwise. One thing you must select is having a 154 board. Okay, we'll have one station, which is going to be a liquid one. Under options, going to choose master meter and option 2. You have product tables if needs be. Next, we'll set the streams. We'll have 3 liquid, could be anything, but we need them assigned to the first station. Because we choose product tables on the first one, we're going to be more limited on here what we've got, and we must have product tables there. The valve control is just if you want to control valves within the streams. Yep. Repeat for the other 2 streams there. So we'll go for option 1, no valves, product table. Option 1, no valves, product table. Okay. Config will build. At that point, we'll start off the graphics. We've got temperature and pressures and Coriolis meters for each of the streams and densitometer in the station. Okay. You can set your units up to whatever you require. Reports, we've already got a mass and a volume. Prover report built for us. You can modify those if needs be. Okay. So we'll go down to the I/O. Main things we need to have control of the prover if needs be, so we can select whether it's available and we can lock it if needs. Apart from that, that's the inlet valve. We're just going to give it a digital input and a digital output. Setting digital input for opening and closing, and the same with the outlet. You're not bothered about the seals. Okay. On the outputs, that's when it's open. Closed. Analog inputs, we need to give it the temperatures and pressures. We're not really important on the seals unless you need that. And with the density, we can use either the analog input or we can use a frequency input. Okay, we'll just random select some items. Channel 1. One thing that is important is you must have all these selected, otherwise the calculation will not run. Just for reference wise, just using some we've already used earlier on, but All those are at the moment set as 4 to 20 milliamps and in keypad mode. You can change them to measured. That's the standard of any other functionality. Okay. Analog outputs, we're not really bothered. Density, because we didn't assign a density, and if you do, we need mass, we'll assign a densitometer to those, but that's coming from the station. Finally, we need their pulses. This is where things are slightly different. If stream 1's going to be your master meter, you need to choose it from your P154 board for your master meter stream. The other two can be coming straight in on your I/O boards. The reason for that is because we're going to be going in through our I/O board, fed out through our raw output into the raw input of the prover card, and then we're using the turbine from the 154 to compare. Communications, we can ignore those. When you get to station, you've got your standard product table builds. Your densitometers, you can set your factors from your densitometer sheets. Okay. Your flow balance, that one preset is always going to be a set value, or you can do based on the flow rate that's actually happening. Run data, your override there is a good option to tick to start with, so that you can actually do approve, give you a basic idea of it's actually going to run properly. But in the end, that one's turning off, but that can be turned on and off from your web server anyway. You nominated master meter because we set it as stream 1, it's selected there, but you can choose whichever stream you want there for your master meter. And that's the amount of pulses you're going to run, so we'll give another 0 on the end there. Constants, just leave those all as default for now. Hardware, phase lock loop is just an extra level of accuracy if required. The manual shows you all the details on that. And your alarm limits, it's just what your high and low limits are for amount of pulses, and your K factor, meter factor. The big thing is later on, if you do an unofficial prove, it doesn't really take too much notice of these. So you do an official one, these are more important. Okay, your streams, it's just like any other Coriolis setup. Linearization curve. You can have a different linearization curve for each of your products you've got set, so you've got different products, that's fine. Okay. The rest of them we'll just leave as standard. And your Coriolis, the one thing, because this is all pulse based, we need to switch it to pulse. And because we configure the temperature and pressure coming in from the, and density coming in from the I/O, we set them to I/O as well. Repeat the same for the other. Okay, so pulse, I/O, I/O, I/O. Okay, and that basically will build you a config.